We are 15 days in our Notion November challenge. That means for the last 15 days, we've been building things, practicing things, just doing randomness, just trying to get better at Notion. When I started this process, I didn't want it to be some kind of training because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. However, I feel like if I was to just learn in public and share with everybody what I was learning as I was learning it, other people can follow along without the stress of feeling like they got to go through some kind of course and keep up. 15 days into it, I definitely feel like I'm in a better place. I'm learning a lot. And I'm having way too much fun. I'm spending a lot of time playing with Notion AI. It's absolutely incredible. Again, not an affiliate. I don't get a single dime. I think it is well worth the $20. And as I talked about today in my live stream today, technically it's $10 more because I already had Notion Pro, which was 10, and I just added the other 10 to get Notion AI. I really do think it's worth it. But before we get any further, let's talk about something. So one of the things that I think is super important to get actually used to using Notion the way you want to use it. And this was a conversation that came up in class today because Gretchen is like, she's currently learning Lightroom and they did some major changes in the Lightroom interface and it's just going to slow her down. She didn't feel like now was the time to try to dive into Notion. And I 100% agree with her. Like, you know, there's no need for you to learn how to do something when you're in the middle of learning something else. It's just not important. And I made a joke that if Kathy and Cheryl were doing broccoli month, I'm definitely out. Your boy don't eat that mess. I do not like the devil's afro. So I got to thinking about something as I'm 15 days into this. There are certain things that I keep running into this one particular roadblock. And it is the funniest roadblock and yet the simplest, but then the hardest. So let me explain. Stick around. Please don't run away. Listen to this. I use Notion Calendar. I'm having a good time. It's great. But you know what it really needs to do? It needs a dedicated task database so that you can run it a lot simpler. I'm also using Notion Mail. And turns out when some mails come in, they have some things you could do. You can automatically trigger those through database automations to go into this task database. So the really thing that you want to do in the beginning is build a task and project setup. So sorry, I don't have my Stream Deck set up, so we're using shortcut keys. I am over here looking at this building setup that Alicia put in, and she and I have been going through this. And this is by Simon. Simon's really cool cat. And this is a build along situation where you go through here and you learn how to build a dashboard and you learn how to build the tasks and the projects. And it's cool. And I'm going through it. But I really do feel like throughout the combination of doing my everyday work and creating content still, because I'm not going to give up on that process, editing podcasts, getting ready for a Japan trip, still trying to clean this damn office and my health journey, all this other stuff. It's taking me longer to build this than I want. And you kind of sort of need to have some sort of task, project, and like weekly planner if you really want to get Notion kind of working for you. Yes, I'm building out my coffee database. Yes, I came up with my package tracker. These are all cool. The reality is with Notion AI, I can probably just have it build one. However, I think there is something to what I'm about to show you. Now, I'm not even going to bother with the browser right now, but Simon has on his site, and then there's, my God, my brain just went dumb. Thomas Frank and Jeff Sew, a whole bunch of people have built these LifeOSs that you can try. There's probably 100 of them out there. And I'm going to highly suggest you think about this. You don't know what you need inside one of these LifeOSs unless you're a real good system designer. If you're a system designer, system planning, of which I'm not, which is probably why I'm trying to use Notion, yeah, maybe you can build your own. And I'm sitting here with the build along and I'm listening to Simon and the build along is easy. And yes, I can follow it. But I'm like, ain't nobody got time for that. So here's my thought. Let me take you back into Notion real quick. Again, if you want to check out this build along, it's on the Notion November page. And if you haven't got here yet, you can go and docrock.live/NotionNov, or you can put this hashtag in any YouTube video and it will send you a link on how to join the party. This is a good video and it's well worth watching. However, I'm going to come over here to a brand new page. This is just a blank page. Actually, let me back out a second. This is what the blank page looks like. At the bottom of the page, it says templates. And if you look inside this template, there are a bunch of dashboards here. There are second brains, which is similar to a LifeOS. There's like, D&D, campaign notes, all the above. There's so many types of lists in here. However, what I'm going to suggest a lot of people do while you're just getting started out is to come up here to the top and go to the search box and just type in LifeOS. That's what most people are calling them. Some people call them life planners. There'll be a bunch of different creators in here. And yeah, you'll see like this one right here is free, which I think is cool because you can go in here and play around and just kind of see what's possible. I think what LifeOS does for you, and regardless of who created it, is it gives you a visual perspective as to what's possible, like what's out there. Here's one that's sort of built by Notion themselves. And it looks like it was version updated 16 weeks ago, which is relatively new, but I feel like here, we can hit preview. Let's take a quick look at this. You have your writing notebook, your reading list, notes and drafts, travel planner, simple budget, task list, goals, habit tracker, weekly plan. That's what it is. Real simple one. This is built by Notion, absolutely trustworthy. Okay. I'm going to go back a little bit further. I did something kind of crazy. I searched in ADHD because I heard that's a thing. And so here's someone that has an ADHD planner that is, and look, they use my calendar, that has a couple pages in here. And it seems like this is good because it's designed in theory by somebody that knows what they're doing. They're only charging $15. It might be worth it. And sometimes if you go to Gumroad, they even have a pay as you go. So I'm not pay as you go, pick what you will. So although they're asking 15, sometimes they let you pay more. I wouldn't do that. I'm a nice guy. But here was just one that looked in here. And then unfortunately, what's funny is they don't really have too much of a browse similar, but they do let you see similar things made by the same person. So this person seems to be specialized in doing some of the LifeOS stuff. And they even have a category here that is called mental health. If you just wanted to say, start with a gratitude journal or emoji mood tracker. Some of these things are out here, and I think these are cool and they're worth looking into so that you can get an understanding of what the possibilities of Notion are. So let me go ahead and put in Better Creating, Better. I know how to spell, 2 T's. Oh, come on. Better Creating. I should just learn to type all the way through. And then here's Better Creating. This is Simon here. And so Simon has this LifeOS, which is, it says $129. It's actually on sale for $94 if you go through his website versus going this way. And I think if you click this, it does take you to the website. But there is some, these are the agent OSs. You don't want to get that far unless you have Notion AI. But he has something called like the complete LifeOS bundle. That's the one with everything. And here's the simple one, which is $99. Again, on the website, it's currently on sale for $74. But some of these guys do have free templates in there that you can go and check out. And I really do think it's probably worth going in here and let's doing like say LifeOS. I should learn how to spell. And then unfortunately, I don't think it lets you type in free, but I think it might be worth looking at one of these guys, checking out one of the free ones, seeing what's available to you, and seeing what the possibilities are, and just play with one of these for a couple of days or so. You can absolutely delete them, but give you an idea of what's out there as opposed to sitting here and trying to build one when you don't really have an idea of what you want to build. Another creator whose LifeOS I looked at, which I think is really good, and that is, let me type it up here if this will work, Organize notebook. Of course, I didn't type it right. I've been noticing, here we go, the organized notebook. So if you come in here and you click on the actual creator, then you can come in. They have an ultimate planner that they have, which is like, $100. They have some cheaper stuff here, like the ultimate second brain template, which is $30. But if you go to their website, they definitely have more on there. But I think if you were to look into one of these and kind of get an idea of what's available to you, I think it would make your job easier. And many of these guys do have YouTube videos that you can watch and see if this is something that your brain will relate to. But I'm coming to the conclusion that the best way to kind of understand what's going on here is to come in here, get one of these free ones or spend a little money on something that would just save you some time and just dive the heck in. I wonder if Jeff C is in here. Jeff C, he's pretty good too. Jeff, and it is SIU. Is he? No, Jeff's is outside of here. He doesn't have this in here. Or is it SU? No, it's SIU. So yeah, unfortunately, Jeff doesn't have this in here. He has it on his own website, but he's another person that you should check out. but I really do highly, and even if say you just want to start with a content calendar, come in here, snatch one of the free ones. Here's one that's just made by Notion. So let's go ahead and pull this one in just to give it a quick look-see. And let's see, they updated this one 16 weeks ago. So let's just go ahead and add this Notion content calendar and see what that looks like. At the bottom, you'll see my head's in the way, but it says that the template is being added down here at the bottom. And then now it's ready. So you can go see the template. And here we are. I think seeing something like this will go a long way to helping you out. So it's got the instructions right here. Use this as a strategic overview of your marketing campaigns. And then what your deliverables are going to be, come in here and play out, click through the different areas and kind of see what they do. And then, of course, you can delete some of the things that are in here and sort of start from new. But like if you're going to do a new campaign, right? So let's just say we're going to create a new project and we're going to call this Notion November. I swear I know how to type today. Notion November. And then the status of this project is actually in progress. And I just moved because I moved the status. So, see what I mean? I go to timeline. I go to in progress. See, I screwed it up already. There it is. Click on Notion November so I can finish the rest out. The owner of this project is myself. The dates are, let's say, Notion 1, and then include an end date. End date will be the 30th. If I have any tasks that are related to it, I don't have a blog post. I probably will write an email newsletter, but I would add some tasks here that would go related to that. And then what about this project, what the project's tasks are. So we come in here and we would name this task. So let's call this day 16 video. And then if I wanted to add an assignee, it's just me. In most cases, you don't need to because I'm only doing this by myself. And I'm going to do the due date, and that one's going to be tomorrow. And then if I started drafting this task, I would put in the 16 topic right here. And then I can start there. And then, as I'm working through this project, it'll all be good. So when we look into our active campaigns, you see the things that are in progress. It's already down here. I can close this side peek for a second. And there's my Notion November setup. And then I can click on the priority because I need it done tomorrow. And I can say hi. And if I wanted to know like how complete I were on the task as I went through and started doing some of those tasks, you would just get an idea of what it does. Again, I think the key element here is sort of playing around and taking these things apart, getting a visual heads up on what these guys can do and building from here. So I am super curious. If you find yourself struggling and building it on your own, what type of templates would you, first of all, what do you want to do with Notion? How about we do that? Down in the comment section below, tell me what it is you're trying to do with Notion and you're trying to get your head together. And I don't know, fam, I'm coming to the conclusion that even if you want to get into this stage just for getting your life together and content creating, I think doing something like, and I'm looking at 3 right now, I'm going to make a decision sometime in the next week or so, and mine will not be the same as yours. I have a different sort of brain technique. Just don't just listen to what somebody else says. But it's either going to be between Simon's one or Thomas Frank's one, or my brain just went dumb. Jeff Sue. They all have really nice ones. There's even another good guy out there called Esau. But yeah, go give him a look. Go see what's out there. See what matches your brain. There's a whole bunch of good creators making these guys. I say go check some of the previews out. See what resonates with you. And I highly suggest spend a little bit of cash, especially with Black Friday coming up. Most of these guys will probably have sales. Just get one and mess with it. And if you need to adjust it, most of them you can adjust yourself. Other ones, they actually have the ability to meet with you in a Zoom call and fix it however you like it. I think this is going to be a better option for the majority of people out here. And if you're at the point where, again, you can't do it without, say, buying one of these, it's probably worth doing the 1-month trial of Notion AI and having AI help you build it out based on something that you're already doing in paper. Or like my buddy Sam was moving it over from Trello to Notion. It might be worth the money to, go to Notion's page, pick one of the consultants from the template page, show them your Trello thing and be like, can you help me move this over? And it might be a couple $100 or so, but it might save you a lot of drama, a lot of headache. Because what you don't want to do is slow down your creation process, overcomplicating your system. And this is where most people get stuck. And by not being a system builder and not being a system designer, and why many of us are building a system again, most of us, this is not our first time building a system. We're building a system again. We're building it because we're not system designers, and it might be better if you just use what's out there and adjust it when you find a place that doesn't fit the way you work. And it was funny because I got that conflicting information way back in the day. Somebody said it's better to build your own versus buy one because all the ones that you build won't do what you want. And so I was like, cool. So I started building my own, but then I realized I don't know what I'm building because I don't know what the system is. So if I was going to tell you to set up a live stream studio, I know what to tell you. You need a mic, you need a camera, you need a light at a minimum. But then you also need a place to store all these things. So eventually you got to get an NAS. And then your studio keeps glitching, so you need a network. And then you want a loud, clicky keyboard to irritate the hell out of Paul when you're typing. Then you're going to want a Stream Deck. And then next thing you know, you got 50 things in your studio, even a DaVinci editor, so you can spin really quick. And then you're going to need an AI to help you with titles and thumbnails. And you're going to need a thumbnail designing program like the one from Final Cut Pro. I'll put a link in the description. So yeah, it isn't just lights, camera, microphone, and some sort of interface and a computer. It's way more than that. And we all know this now because we all staring at a bunch of crap on our desk in order to make these videos. I don't know need to hear this, but if it was you, please let me know in the comment section below. This has been racking my brain for about 3 or 4 days. And I was like, today I'm going to just spit it out and see what happens. And for the 5 of you that actually watched this video, please leave me a comment and let me know what we're thinking, because this is going to require a little group thing. If you did like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video of things you should watch. And I agree with it.
Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Fumble a bag, now I will not fumble a bag. Act like you know how this goes.